Good evening, and thank you so much for coming out tonight. For those of you who I haven't met, my name is Steve Mclaughlin. I'm the Director of Alumni Relations and Giving here at Jesuit. Many of you probably heard from me about this event, and those of you who didn't, I'm ashamed myself, so I'll get in touch with you shortly. I want to thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate you being here, and it's fantastic to have you all back. Specifically all of the alums that are in the room, thank you so much for coming back. We're so happy to have you back, and anytime you are here, we're thrilled. So thank you so much for that. I want to just take a quick moment to thank a number of my colleagues who helped make this possible. Specifically my partner in crime on this event, Ms. Julia Clark, who helped put a lot of this together. A number of my colleagues from the Advancement Office, certainly my boss Maureen Longyear, our Director of Development. Let's see, so Jordan Blair, Julia Marino, Joe Leopold, thank you so much. And then from our Visual and Performing Arts Department, certainly Dave Bischoff, John Cargile, and I think that might be the folks here so far. So again, thank you guys for your support. And I'm going to get to Ed in a second, so he's going to get more than that. And then I also want to thank, they just scattered, but our students, aren't they fantastic? One of the things that we try to do with this event and with some of the other things that we do is just celebrate what our students do here. It's just, you know, even those of us who work here, you know, however many days a year, we still are in awe of what these young men do. And it's fantastic. And so tonight, you know, with the music and the artwork and the performance that you're about to go into, it's just a great experience, and it reminds us all how wonderful a place this is and how great these young men are becoming. It's fantastic, so I appreciate that. I'm going to hand this over to Ed in a second here. I just want to again say thank you. I appreciate it. If there's anything I can do as the alumni director here for you, please let me know. Again, for our alums uniquely, anytime you want to come back, you give me a call, stop by my office, I'm happy to show you around. There's a lot of really neat things going on right now, and there's a lot of really neat things coming up soon. So please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. With that being said, I'm going to turn over to whom you're probably more excited to hear from, our artistic director for the drama department, class of '84 graduate, Ed Trafton.
Thank you so much for coming. I want to echo all those thanks to everyone. We're so grateful that you're here tonight. We're really excited. The cast next door from 2013 is really nervous to have many members of the cast of 2007 here tonight. These are people that they've seen on the video, people whose work actually really inspired them. So I'm looking forward to that evening afterwards. I want to talk about what we've done so far this year and kind of where we're going, and give just a slight preview without giving too much away what the show's about, and kind of go from there. The first thing I really want to thank the drama staff. We have an amazing staff here. We are so lucky. We have professional architects, professional stage designers, lighting designers, sound designers, costumers, puppeteers, technicians. But what's even more amazing about this is the amount of alum connection right here. So if you take a look at the screen right now, so all the guys in red, we're all alums of this place. We're back because we love this place. And then all the people in yellow are people that had kids here and have long-standing Jesuit connections. So Jesuit drama is a very alum-connected place. So thank you for all these alums, and it's so great to have you working with us. This fall we did a piece called Theophilus North, and it was an adaptation of a great Thornton Wilder novel. And this is Mr. Will Peters. If you've seen any of our shows, we're excited but also very sad that Will's a senior this year. He's going to be graduating, like all these guys have to graduate. He did a fantastic job. The company was really rather wonderful, a play about a guy who goes on a bike and goes to a small town and back in Rhode Island in the 20s and just changes a lot of lives. Will, that's Justin Peterson there, just did a phenomenal job. If you also were here for Hello Dolly, you probably recognize that set. We repurposed that set. We sort of just gave it a paint job, added a paint floor, and want to just save money for some resources. Tonight you're going to be seeing something a little bit different inside the theater. I want to talk about something coming up. I want to go a little brief tangent. We're doing a couple things this year. After Move, we're doing a musical review called Alone Together, that my colleague Kathy and I are going to be working on. There's no singing in the show. We've got some amazing people that have got some great voices, and we want to highlight them. It's going to be a nice, sort of casual, sort of cabaret musical review where we can really feature these wonderful singers in a very spotlit way. So that's coming up, we're working on that. And another project we're doing is we're going back to a piece that we did a couple years ago, a Scooby-Doo piece. But more than that, just one quick second. One of the things tonight, if you've been around and you're going to hear different, is we have a new sound system. We are so incredibly excited about this new sound system. We had a $35,000 goal to raise money for that sound system, and as of this evening, we are actually at $27,000. We are blown away by the generosity of our patrons, and we're just, so please, you'll be thanking them when you hear the show inside there. It's absolutely amazing. One of our alums, Brian O'Neill from Link Home Systems. Brian is a gentleman who has been our sound engineer for some time. Got us this great system, did it. What's really exciting is the way that this integrates technology. We now can use these great iPads, and we can control the sound from these iPads on the floor. The computer software is such that the kids are designing a lot more. So what in the past was very, very complicated and very convoluted, now by virtue of this technology is becoming easier. And our colleagues in drama, we can actually teach design a little bit more. The technology is helping. It's just, I can't believe we're here just in a couple of years. I know there's an iPad initiative that's going to be school-wide next year. We're so glad to be a part of that. And again, we're grateful for our donors for helping us. Back to Scooby-Doo. We're on the low-tech side. We're doing a production of Scooby-Doo, kind of an original work. Several years ago, it's about 2-3 years ago, we kind of got together and wrote a piece, kind of our own original episode, and the cast worked on the text. And then we raised some money to get a bunch of merchandise, and where we ended up performing this, we ended up performing at the Sutter Children's Hospital. And the great thing is we've been invited back, and we're so excited. This was honestly, that season, this was our best gig. I say this was our best gig that we had. We were on the 6th floor of the Sutter Hospital. It was an extremely bland gray room, not a lot going on there. And then we showed up pretty much with a couple ladders, kind of looking ragtag, everyone with a bad wig, because bad wigs are comedy gold, okay? We show up here and we're just kind of waiting for folks, and all of a sudden around the corner you hear the sounds of wheels and the scraping of some walkers, and then these kids, this wonderful procession of kids. A story that touched us so much. It was amazing. I wish you could see him right here. This is his mom. This is Billy right here. He was essentially in bed for about 2 months. And hearing that Scooby-Doo was coming, he worked with his team of 7 technicians to get him out. You can see him hooked up to all this stuff. We waited for him. It took him 15 minutes to get down the hall, out of bed after 2 months to see Scooby-Doo. It was amazing. So we've been invited back. We cannot wait to go back. We can't wait to go back. We're just so delighted by that. So you'll be hearing about that. You'll be getting an invitation to come see our preview of what we're going to do here, okay? It'll just be goofy, 30 minutes, got little kids, bring them, that'll be great. Okay, so we're going tonight. In 2007, after production of The Princess Bride, we got together, and here's a group of people. Recognize your faces? We got together, and we did this experimental piece called Move. It was a musical, but it didn't have singing in it. I'm so indebted, as I wrote in the program note to this group, they were extremely brave, and they were very, very creative. This was a group of people that really loved and trusted each other, and you saw it in that product, and to this day it remains one of my favorite pieces that plays very, very sincerely dear to my heart. So delighted that they can be back tonight. Here are some of the images from that. Kind of gives you a sense of kind of what we did and kind of what it was. I could show you 1,000 things. These are David's pictures. It always takes great pictures for us. It's a combination of a lot of things. What we're going to see tonight, it's dance, it's that's Adam pouring milk on his head, it's performance art, it's a lot of different things. It's Clark and Roz, it's some comedy sketches. And so I kind of want to talk about what the piece is. So when you go into theater, there's a black box on stage, but the black box is sitting inside of a black box that we've constructed. Larger black boxes, and the theater is also called a black box. So it's a black box and a black box and a black box, okay? The company's going to gather. I don't want to tell you how they gather because I think it's really kind of interesting, just the same way we did last time. And then the evening goes on. This is a shot of this new company, Move 2013. Years may change, but some of the faces surely don't. Definitely not the energy. I don't want to show you anything in between. I just want to briefly talk about in between and be somewhat of a tour guide for it. To call it performance art really would alienate people, because that sounds pretentious, it sounds thick. I think people have a distrust for modern art in general. I think in the world. To say it's live music videos on stage is kind of more akin to what it is, but that also diminishes what a lot of the philosophical and aesthetic work actually is in it. So what we settled on is this description. And it seems rambling and a little incoherent, but actually it really is, it's more to the point. Tonight we're just going to celebrate and we're just going to explore movement in all its various forms. From dance, we have an incredible choreographer named Pamela K. Lorenzos, a dancer who's worked actually on Broadway, choreographed off-Broadway, one of the principal choreographers of Capital City Ballet. She's a great teacher. She works with the folks, and you'll love some of her dances. They're really rather inspired. Act 1, we're calling this, in this house of make-believe. We think of Act 1 sort of as a dream, so as you're taking a look at the imagery in Act 1 tonight, just imagine if you were sleeping, or dreaming awake, what would you be seeing? In Act 2, we call Move, Members, Move. And that's a tribute to one of the best African-American, and just in general, best dance companies in our country, the Alumni Dance Troupe. Their signature piece, Revelations, is a piece that continues to move me. And as an homage to what movement can do socially, we will, for a second time, call Act 2, Move, Members, Move. Here are the names of the pieces, and we try to make them one syllable, or if they're two syllable, to make them sort of graceful. You can see kind of what's going on. They're meant to be a little mysterious. They're meant to sort of get you going. In Jesuit education speak, we have this concept called prelection, where you tease with an idea, hope that the person kind of riffs on that a little bit themselves, thinks about what it means to themselves, and then enters the experience, having been primed a little bit. It's the intellectual equivalent, I think, of an appetizer, or like a moose, something like that. Just kind of gets you going and whets the appetite just a little bit. If you were here for the last move in the piece or saw the piece, there are two pieces that we're reprising. I just thought it was really important to do that to honor this cast that many of whom are here tonight. The piece Zeal in Act 2 in Park. One piece, well, I'll let you decide. One of them that has to do with an attack of ninjas, later on. There's a piece that's a woman's piece called Grace that Pam choreographed. It's really kind of wonderful. We have a guy's piece like last time. This is a piece that you'll understand why it's called Bjorn. The guy's choreographed also. We're doing a piece which we hope has some social relevance. Nothing in your face at all. Not that's bad, but this piece 26 we hope gets people sort of thinking a little bit. And then the piece Box, and the finale of it, if you were here for the last move, we start and stop the same way. Just a little bit of a heads up. At the very finale, we actually reprise the entire show in just about 2 minutes, really quick, with a bunch of 8 counts. Their dancing is incredible. They have been working so incredibly hard. Incredibly proud of them. To give us time to change backstage, there are approximately 345 costumes for 30 actors. There are approximately 1,200 light cues during the show. It's astounding. To get all that coordinated and going, we need a little bit of a breather in between each. And also, what we've done is we've included, like last time, student films. So we've had some students out with their cameras, documenting things on Jesuit's campus and on St. Francis campus. I think film continues to sort of grow in interest at Jesuit High School. I know that we need the resources to keep that happening. These kids have a great camera, they've got great eyes, and so we're excited tonight to premiere their films. They're films that will comment on the pieces and help sort of set up those pieces. So please, I hope you enjoy them. They're wonderful black and white kind of things. We added something this time, and they're called knee plays. And they're what they are the equivalent of small little vaudevilles. Just little things that are just funny. That's all I kind of want to say about them. One of our sophomores, his name is Liam O'Donnell. Liam will do all these pieces, and he's a very sort of a straight-faced clown. And I just would ask you to think about like what they're doing, why they're there, and kind of what function they have. They're really simple. They're really rather simple, though, on some levels, okay? Okay. The last thing I would just love to offer is this incredible quote by the American choreographer Paul Taylor. He says, "I would like to make it clear from the start that these dances are primarily meant to be a kind of food for the eye. If they evoke dramatic images and riddles, the key to their solution lies not so much in the brain, but in the senses and the eyes of the spectator." There's nothing to get tonight. What is there to get is your openness into an experience. and it is whatever it will be with you. And just sit back and please enjoy their work, because again, they work hard. They're dying to meet you. They're dying to see you and have just your feedback about what we're doing. Are there any questions I can answer about?
So this is opening night?
No, we opened actually last week.
Okay.
We opened last week, okay? I love this Martha Graham quote to conclude, nobody cares, we can't just dance, get up and dance. That's a very famous image of a skeleton. That strikes me as a little macabre, but if there's one thing that a lot of these cast members have learned is to get through their inhibitions. You're going to see all different levels of ability, all different body types, all different kinds of folks. And that's the point, is that everyone really can do this. And the final thing is, I know Eric is in the back, I won't embarrass him again. This is the thing that really has struck with me through all these years that we put on the poster that Julie Marino, flashing these wonderful pictures, was kind enough to design for us. Movement is truth that the body can't contain. So Eric, thanks for those words. It's been a real touchstone for us for all these years. I hope that's something. I don't want to give away too much. This is not Hello Dolly, where I can talk about a wonderful lady coming to town in New York. This is something entirely different. I just can't wait to hear what you think afterwards. Okay, and thank you so much for coming and support, and thank you, Steve and Julie, for your kind invitation to do this. So I got to run. Get them prepared. Thank you.
I just want to let you know that if you would like to have early seating, you're welcome to come into the theater now. If you want to mill around, that's fine, but I'm going to be letting in the patrons and then the general admission in a couple of minutes. But I wanted to give you folks an opportunity to go in there and take a seat. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming. If you do have a drink or anything like that, enjoy it. Take your time. If you just can't take it in with you. And I do recommend the buntini. They're delicious. So enjoy yourselves. Thank you all.